Hi, this is Ravit Rose. Super pleased to be here with Rachel, who is an energetic healer here at iRose. And we're going to be talking about abandonment and what it does to you during your divorce, post divorce, and how it affects you. We are energetic beings. And one of the most important pieces is to really be able to understand what it does to you energetically, how it could affect you into your future, and then what can you do to actually eliminate it? Because you don't want to live your life with this thought reoccurring in your mind over and over again about what he did, what she said, and what happened and what occurred. You don't want to live the stories over and over again. So super pleased to be here with Rachel, who's here to talk to us about abandonment in a much deeper conversation. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Ravit. It's such a pleasure to be here and speak with you and speak with you all. So this is like a really huge topic that is so important to address because, most of us in life have felt abandoned in some way, and I think divorce is a really heightened feeling of abandonment, right? It's a very profound experience that really shakes us to our core, no matter what the circumstances, even if it's a divorce that seems more easy and more natural, it still shakes us and goes into our core. And so, yeah, I want to talk about the energetic side of abandonment and what that can do to us. So basically, in Chinese medicine, the belief is that the Shen, the spirit, it lives in the heart. And when our heart is hurt, or feels broken, or we feel abandoned, that actually affects our Shen. It affects our spirit. And so, in turn, when our spirit is affected, that is an energetic imbalance that can be created, and then that can create physical problems. So it's kind of like this connection of all of these things in a more holistic approach. All of these parts of us um, that are there that exist for what we are as beings, just the as creation made us, is that we have a spiritual component, an energetic component, a physical, emotional, mental, psychological side of us. And medicine sometimes only addresses the physical, but we are complex individuals. So everything ties together. So when we're abandoned, it really does affect our energy in all different kinds of ways. It affects our emotions and it affects our spirit. So the work that I do with people is to help them recover from that. And I say this to my clients over and over. We are divine beings. We are whole. Our spirit is whole. And we are having human experiences that can feel like it really rocks us and can deplete or make us feel degraded with our self-love or self-worth. And abandonment triggers those things. But the truth is we are divine beings who are inherently made out of love. And so that can't actually be destroyed. And so it's about understanding that we can return to feeling whole again after being abandoned, and that we can actually recover from being abandoned, even though at the time it feels like we may never recover or get over it. We absolutely can. We can heal, we can recover, we can find the truth of what our soul needs and what our spirit needs and what we need energetically to heal and recover, as well as get like any kind of physical support, any kind of therapies, legal support, financial support, whatever you need. But I think it's good to understand that it's important to get support on all those different areas of our being because we're multi-dimensional, right? We have all these sides of us that we don't always present in society, but it's there and it affects us. It affects our decisions. It might affect the fact that you cling to another person in a relationship right after, to fill that void, whereas that void is actually an opportunity for spiritual growth. It's an opportunity to look within and say, what do I need? What has been lacking in my life? And where is love not showing up for me? Because we all deserve like profound, deep, and unconditional love. Every single one of us. There is no being on the earth that deserves less than that. Nobody. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the richest person in the world, the poorest person in the world, whoever it is, we're all divine beings and we all deserve that kind of love. So it's an opportunity to look within to figure out why you don't feel that you deserve it and look into your life and say, why am I not receiving this unconditional love? And then work on yourself from there. So the healings that I do help people get back to that point where they're starting to give themselves unconditional love. They're starting to evaluate where that's missing in their life. And then once you start working on that and you can hold the energy of unconditional love, what's going to happen? It's going to mirror back to you. You're going to start calling in unconditional love for yourself. So the spiritual transformation that can happen through abandonment is actually extremely profound. It's extremely painful generally for most people, but it's also incredibly profound, and it's an opportunity for us to spiritually grow and develop as beings and actually really get what we deserve, where we might have been selling ourselves short in life, where we might have been compromising ourselves or not actually receiving as much love as we deserve. So it's painful, but I help all of my clients get through those processes. And I do have clients I've worked with who have been cheated on, and they were devastated, and they were trying to figure out whether they wanted to get divorced or not. So even before you actually get divorced, even sometime before, it's good to have a call with me, do a healing with me, and start exploring these things then, because then you can get support through the whole process of your decision making of how you want to handle everything in your life and get more clarity on what is going to be best for you and your partner.
I love that. And you actually touched on a really good point here. A lot of people wait to heal until after the fact. And that's actually not true and not necessarily the best thing to do. Because if you feel like this, like something is wrong, something is stuck, something just doesn't feel right, and you're in the mode of contemplating divorce, it's very important that you evaluate whether to divorce or not with a level head and all the facts that are in front of you. So if there's something that you can do, let's say working with Rachel, to eliminate, to remove, to soften whatever feelings you have, and that could actually save your marriage, then maybe that's something that you may want. Or you may say, you know what, 100%, I want to get divorced. I don't want this to linger any longer. Your divorce process will be so much easier now that you've released all this stuff that's keeping you stuck, all the stuff that's keeping you feeling in this abandonment or not enough or whatever the case is. So it's very important to understand that your divorce process is very much tied to you and how you show up, how you feel, how you are, and how you present yourself in the divorce process. So this is
Absolutely.
super valuable information. And I invite you all, if whether you're contemplating divorce, whether you're feeling like something's wrong, you're not quite sure what it is, whether you want to explore something a little bit different, whether you want to go a little bit deeper, I invite you to reach out to Rachel. All her information is below. Please feel free to DM her, and I'm sure she'll be delighted to have a consultation with you to see if and how she can help you. Thank you, Rachel, so much for being here and sharing this great information with us. It's super helpful, and I know from someone who's done a lot of this deep work, it's really, really worthwhile. And thank you all for being here and watching. Until the next time we speak, I wish you all a day that matters. Take care, everyone.